Hello everybody and welcome back to Juno New Origins, where last episode we made this horrible little thing, and the idea behind this is I would like to use this as a bit of a testing ground for testing out a couple of these things. So Juno Peak is something that we'll need to do. Fast Roller is timed. This craft is not going to go faster than 55.6 meters per second, but I'm going to... no, I don't want to cancel the contract. I'm going to launch this, and I want to see what this gets. However, I think that we've probably got some issues with it. We need to set the turn mode for this. So the input here should be the pitch, and then this is going to be pitch as well. The turning angle for these front wheels, I'm going to put it about 20 degrees. And then the torque and gear ratio is something that we're going to need. This is going backwards. Okay. So we're going to reverse both of these. The torque and the gear ratio in both of these is something that we're going to need to change. But I want to know what this thing travels at for right now. So let's exit the designer. Actually, we can save this craft. Yes, that's fine. And I want to launch this on the village runway. So 55 meters per second is pretty fast. There's no doubt about that. But we're going to need to definitely make some alterations. This is not going to do it. Okay. It does get going pretty quick. Actually, this is quite quick. We got some air there. That's understood. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that's a bit problematic on the grounding. Noted. So we're reaching about 30 meters per second with this initial design. Okay. Oh, look at that. We actually got some tire tracks from the brakes. Interesting. Well, we're going to recover this craft. And we don't actually have a source of power on it either. So a source of power will be pretty important, or at least a big battery. But I would like to have a power source on it. So let's go in here, and this is a battery pack. This is a battery tank. So we could use that to replace the fuel tank that's in here that currently has no fuel in it. So that is understood. But I'm thinking right now, I would love it if we could just attach a solar panel to, like, this guy's head. But that doesn't really work. I guess we could put it, like, here and generate some power that way. That seems reasonably fine. Now, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to increase our speed here. Now, torque is going to increase our acceleration, whereas our gear ratio, higher values result in more torque, but lower RPM. Lower values result in less torque, but higher max RTM. Or rather, RPM. So that seems fine. Our max RPM here is currently 1,000 with a top speed of 25.8. So if we were to drop that down, that's 51.5, and we increase our torque ratio here, that actually doesn't do anything. Okay, so let's keep that at 2 for now. Let's turn this down to 2 for our torque. Apparently it doesn't want to go to 2. That's fine. And we are going to drop our gear ratio to increase that to 51.5 meters per second. Now, the real question here is, how can we get higher than that? I'm betting there's one that's going to require higher speeds than this yet, and the width of the wheel can be changed. That's intriguing. Let's keep this at 100% for now, or actually I think, yeah, I guess 95. It doesn't want to change to 100, but sure. What's the width of this one? 80? Okay, 80 is probably fine. So the size of the wheel can go up. Oh, that changes the top speed. Okay. So we can have these big old wheels. That changes the top speed. And this is now going to cost about $3,000. That seems okay. Our power consumption is 27.3 kilowatts. This guy produces a lot less power than that. We're going to run out of battery, I think, very, very quickly at this point. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to pop off the camera. I'm going to pop off our druid, I should say. Going to remove this guy. I'm going to remove our wheels, and I'm going to remove this. There we go. Now we're going to put in a battery tank, sized about the same, and I'm going to place this here and this is going to go here. There we go. We put our Druid back on here, and I want him to be turned around, facing forward. There we go. I'm going to put the camera here, again, facing forward. There we go. And I'm wondering just how much battery we have in this battery tank. So 91.9 kilowatt hours. Okay, so this is not going to produce enough power. That's understood. I want to, for now, save this monstrosity. We'll save it as car, all caps. And we're going to put this out on the runway. This is going to go fast and should probably be relatively fine. So we're currently grounded for long enough. The question, though, is how much battery are we going to have? So our acceleration is exceptionally low. That is understood. Our top speed will be exceptionally high, but with this acceleration at this position, this is probably not going to do the trick. I'm noting that our battery is still showing as being at 100%. Our acceleration is probably not high enough at this point to get us accelerated to our goal by the time we reach the end of the runway. We're probably going to get, well, we're going to have some issues with it. That said, a big problem that we have as it is when we go over this, we lose contact with the ground, and so it takes us 10 seconds to qualify for this. So that is definitely something that this acceleration is not going to have a problem with. Okay, and now we're going to start accelerating due to gravity. The question is, are we going to go faster than 55.6 meters per second due to gravity? I think our acceleration is way too low. We're at 20. Yeah, our acceleration is definitely way too low here. We're at 25. So this is about half the speed that we want to be at. Okay, we're braking. Ooh, we don't brake anywhere near as quickly. Okay, I guess we're doing this. Huh. Interesting that we survived that. This thing is very survivable then. Very, very durable. Not very good at orienting. I think that's very clear. But it's certainly very durable. Okay, let's recover this craft. Recovery bonus of 29k, huh? Okay, yeah, let's recover it. And I want to go back in here and build. So we need to increase the torque. No doubt about that. That needs to happen. So the torque is currently at 7.8, and we can bump this up to maybe around 31.2, I guess. And let's see what that feels like. Our acceleration is probably still going to be a bit of a problem. We can see our top speed is 103 meters per second, which is enough to finish this mission. Launch fee of 2.1k on the village runway, huh? Interesting. Okay, well, this should be enough, hopefully, to get this mission finished, unless this is definitely faster acceleration. It's faster. I wouldn't call it fast. But I'm betting there's at least one more mission for this this car type thing. So we'll continue to iterate on this probably. I'm interested in what our battery is doing. We're still full on battery. Okay. We're definitely going a lot faster than we were last attempt. And we know that the brakes were apparently not fantastic at bringing us to a halt. So that is noted. So this is around 30 meters per second. Okay. I don't want to go for an adventure this time. So we're trying to break this a little earlier. And it looks like we'll succeed. Perfect. Okay, so we definitely could use some additional torque there. So we'll recover this. Recovery bonus of 45k for that one. Okay, that definitely brought up the price. Noted. Okay, so more torque is apparently needed. So let's just bring this torque up to the maximum, and that's going to increase that power consumption and the price quite a lot. So this is now maximized. And let's put that out on the pad. We'll see how this one goes. It'll be very interesting indeed. So this is with maximum torque. We might have to turn up the gearbox a little bit. But I'm betting there's another mission here, and I'd like to be able to get that done fairly easily as well. That would be the ideal scenario. So we're moving at about 8 meters per second here. Is this going to get us air here? It did. We did not count as grounded there. Okay. We're moving at about 20 meters per second. This might not be... Like, this runway, I think, is a little too short. Okay, let's see what the braking is like. We can also just turn it like that. So that's definitely noted. We see that our battery is at 99% right now. Interesting. Can we accelerate up this runway, I'm wondering? I doubt it. I think this is probably a problem with our gear ratio. Okay, so let's recover that back. And we probably do want to increase our gear ratio a little bit here. So, we want this to be a top speed of like 55 meters per second, right? So somewhere around 2 might actually do the trick here. So something like that. Okay, so brake torque, we might want to crank that up. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Okay. Let's try this one. This is getting more expensive, but we are recovering it, so it sounds reasonably fine. This now has a top speed of just over this goal. So, let's bring it over. And I'd like to find a nice, long location that isn't the runway to do this on. That would be ideal. But we're already going at 15 meters per second. Okay, so we need to be grounded for 10 seconds. The question is, will we be on this runway for 10 seconds? We're at 30 meters per second right now. We're at 40. That is very stable. And I keep trying to move it like it's KSP. It's not KSP. Okay, so we definitely need a longer straightaway. Or a steeper incline. I'm wondering what our balance looks like if we do this. Okay, that's not great. That's definitely not great. So this... The game wanted us to retry/undo, right? So that is fine. We'll retry that, and we just need a longer straightaway to be able to achieve that than the runway. So the question is, where can we go if we're looking to achieve that? Where we'll be grounded the whole time. But we can still achieve our top speed. That's going to be... very interesting for sure. I doubt that we can do that on here. I wonder about up over this way. Like, we're going to lose our grounding out here. This is just too rough. So that's obviously not going to work for us. Noted. This thing is surprisingly stable when we're not in the air. It definitely struggles with going uphill. Okay. So this isn't going to be a great mountain climbing vehicle. That's for sure. Let's recover this back, and let's go back into build and see if we can figure something out. Specifically, we're struggling, I think, with the mass of this vehicle. We could try adding additional wheels and lengthening it out this direction. So that is a theoretical option. We can lengthen this out to be about this long. And then we can move these wheels back to be about here. And we can put in another set of wheels. That did not duplicate what I thought it would. Okay, I guess that's fine. We would put another set of wheels roughly here. And I want these to be exactly where they were. I want to duplicate this, put it about here. And then this guy here, I would like to mirror, like so. So that's going to give us additional power, in theory, right? In theory. We could also potentially go into the part properties here and increase the length of this solar panel and move it back over here. Okay, this is going to be awkward for sure. We definitely don't want this thing going up in the air. So we can turn it like this. It doesn't like to turn quite as much, but it has a lot more acceleration. Okay, let's decrease our acceleration a little bit here because I don't want to... Oh, we did gain air there. Unfortunate. So we're at 37. We're at 40. Let's check this brake torque. That's pretty decent. Okay. And what about going uphill? Oh, this is fine. We can definitely go uphill. Hang on. We're accelerating very rapidly uphill. We're going to gain a lot of air here, of course. Interesting. Okay. So the main problem at this point is that we need to be grounded for more than 10 seconds, right? 9 and 10. We're at 47. That was very close. And I didn't necessarily intend to change our camera there. That was very, very close. This is just a little too short, which means we need more acceleration. So we'll recover that again. And let's go back in. Wait, did we only get 29K for that? Okay. We may have only gotten 29K for recovering that. That's interesting. I did not mean to do that. Let's put that back. Sounds good. And the question then is, should we increase our gear ratio? So lower values result in less torque, but higher max RPM. If we increase this, that drops our top speed. So maybe we should try going to a gear ratio for all of these of about 1.2. Our acceleration seems to be fine, but I would definitely like to get a higher top speed. So something along the lines of this will likely get us what we need. Okay. So much lower acceleration, but actually this acceleration is pretty decent. Checking that brake torque seems reasonably fine. Okay, I do not want to get air here if we can help it. We can't help it. Is this enough acceleration? We're not accelerating very rapidly down this. Okay, that was very, 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 very close. Okay, that's 89K. Yeah, we'll recover that. That sounds good. So at this point, and yes, I know our money is going down. At this point, we are incredibly, incredibly close to what we need. So I just want to bump up this gear ratio ever so slightly to 1.4. And just give us that tiny amount of additional acceleration. I think this is going to do the trick. So that's fantastic. And we need to, of course, turn it right on around. I suppose we could turn it around in the design structure so we don't have to do this. But I want to be going slowly enough here that we do not gain any air. I want to remain grounded as we go over this. It didn't happen. That's unfortunate. We're going very slowly there. Okay. 30 meters per second. I think we needed more speed here. We're at 45. So close. 41.5. Okay. In that case, I want to just revert this back to up top and try this one more time. So we're just going to bring it right back up over here. And if we know that we're going to get air going over this any way we slice it, then we might want to just embrace it. Okay. 10 seconds. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're apparently falling at this moment. Cool. We got it under control. There we go. So that is fine. Oh, that didn't actually count. Interesting. So I guess we need to end the flight before we drop under 55 meters per second. That's weird. I would not have expected that. I would expect that you just have to peak over. You have to have all of these done at the same time. But apparently, that's not the way it works. Apparently, we need to instantly, as soon as that's done, hit the end flight button. Wild. I don't think that's the way it worked previously. Okay, we're just going to accelerate up as much as we can. Oh, we have to hold it for a certain length of time. I just saw that pop in here. So that means that this runway is definitely not going to do the trick, right? Definitely not going to do the trick because we have to hold that speed for a certain amount of time. The runway is definitely too short in that case. Okay. So what that means is we have to off-road it, but we have to remain grounded for long enough. That's going to be quite a challenge. No doubt about that. That's going to be really interesting. How long do we have to hold that for? That's why it didn't work previously. So, okay. In that case, I'm wondering about being able to do something like this. Getting our speed up. Whoa, okay, that's quite the situation. So there's a little lip here. The idea was that we build up some speed and then go down the runway. I mean, we could simply, I don't care about this heading right now. We could simply back this off as much as possible and just get ourselves a bunch of speed here. Maybe not exactly like that. Okay, so we could just start back here, right? And accelerate up all the way through here. And just be like, we're gonna get air here. That's understood. But it's not gonna be a lot. Yeah, I don't think this is quite the way to do it. We exceeded 56. I didn't quite see how long we had to hold that for, but I have a potential idea here. There's just not a lot of space here. We need a long open space, right? And the question is, what can we find? Kinda not any of that. Noted. So we're cruising at about 40 meters per second right now, and I'm going to bring us off road over here, with the idea being, yeah, we're going to get a lot of air doing this. That's the thing. This is very rough terrain out over here. So is there a better place to do this? That is a question that should be asked, I think. Is there a better place to do this than here? Well, we've not done anything other than at the village so far. So that's definitely noted. I would like to cruise around over this way and hopefully not break everything when we hit this. Okay, that kind of broke everything. Yeah. I suppose we could just try to take this jump and see what happens on the ground on the other side. But I am not at all convinced that we can remain grounded down there. Okay, I'm watching to see how long we have to hold this for. Oh, man, that was so quick. Okay. So, on this side... Kaboom. Okay, so we didn't survive the jump that time. So we can't go too far because we pitched nose down. That's understood. So I'd like to undo and exit here. And what I want to do is I want to see, is there another location to launch this? The DSC bay is locked. There are other locations to do this. It can be unlocked in the future by completing a specific contract. This definitely looks much flatter here. As does this. So there's probably a better place to do this than in this mountain village, because there's just not enough space here that's flat to get that kind of speed going. So I'm going to save this craft as our car, and we're going to exit on out of here, because I think we're going to have to do one of these other contracts. So Juno Peak exists, and we can accept this, but I'm not going to actually do it just yet, I don't think. Well... I wonder what peak. Let's see what peak this is. How far away is this? It's only 15K, so it's probably not too far. It is up over there. Okay. I don't know if we have the gear ratio to make it up these hills. But we can find out. We are decelerating going up this way. That's noted. Okay. Yeah, we don't really have the gear ratio right now, it seems like, but this isn't going to be too bad. So let's just do this real quick. I want to get something done this episode. So let's hop in here, and I'm going to crank up our gear ratio a lot. So we're going to just maximize our gear ratio completely. I don't care about top speed necessarily for this particular contract. Okay, we're going to put this out here. And we want lots and lots of torque. Ooh, that's a lot of torque. Okay, that looks good. So we're going to head out over here, with the idea being we're going to head directly on up to the peak. Like I said, I want to get something done this episode, so this seems easy enough. Let's get this done, and I think we're going to have to wait until we unlock a different location to complete those other speed challenges, because it's just too rough in this area. The runway isn't long enough to actually progress past that, and we just need to have some additional straightaway. We need to remain grounded. That's the main challenge at this point. So that seems fine. Let's just head up here. Excellent. So we've completed this, and we're going to end this flight. We'll recover the craft, and that looks good. So at least we finished something. I want to head in here and turn our gear ratio back down. So that is going to be bringing this guy down to a speed of 57.2, so 1.8 seems okay. But yeah, we just need a little bit more space to be able to do that. So I'm going to save this as our car, but we're not going to be able to complete this contract just yet. No, this is not what I wanted. We're going to discard and exit. Yes. The flight program I don't want to work with yet. That is definitely going to be an interesting thing to do, but for now, no. So going sideways and wet rockets, huh? Launch a new craft, start grounded, Reach 30 kilometers at ground level. Launch a rocket and drop it in any ocean. Is that really what this says here? Okay. There's also going sideways here, so we can work on both of those. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to work on some of these rocket contracts, and I would very, very much like to get some of this completed so that we can get Fast Roller done. This must be completed within 60 days. So that is going to be interesting. We'll see if we can get that done in time. If not, we might be able to cheese it in some way. I'm not entirely sure what that would look like just yet, but we maybe could like get way more acceleration by adding more wheels or something. We'll see. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.